Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Goldner. We're just getting ready to go. Just wait one moment. Hey, it looks like we are live everywhere. It's so exciting. I'm Dr. Goldner. This is Wellness Wednesday, and I'm here to give you some extra time and coaching for your health needs. I can't substitute for medical care, but I'm here to help in every way I can to help you reverse disease, be happier, be healthier. I can't do a long Wellness Wednesday today like I usually do. I didn't want to let down my fans and followers who look forward to this, but we have a rapid recovery group starting, and our first session is Friday, and I am up to here just studying people's lives. You know, their health issues, their symptoms, their traumas, their hopes, their everything. And I'm getting to know them all and getting ready to help them. So that is my big major focus right now, is showing up 100% for those folks. It's a huge undertaking and I absolutely love it. I love making a difference in people's lives every single day. It is the best thing ever, but it is a lot when I'm getting ready. And those of you who are in the group, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at everything you sent me. I am. But I did want to pop in for those of you who are not in the group, who look forward to and want to get the help. And so one of the things that I thought I could teach you about in the time that I wanted to spend here was to help those of you who are struggling with, especially food addiction. It's a major thing, right? It's a major reason why people do things like my rapid recovery group, is that when you've got addiction, you need support every day. You need to help figure out how to overcome that addiction, right? People don't participate in addictive behavior because they don't know better. They know drugs are wrong. They know sugar's wrong. They can't stop. And so when it comes to addiction, you need support and you need accountability, right? And then you also need help with when things go wrong. So what I thought I could talk to you about is how to manage and fix things when they go wrong, right? Anyone here ever have something go wrong? Anyone in Instagram or YouTube or Facebook? Any of you? Yeah, I've had things go wrong. Me too. When I was interviewed for a parenting book years ago, they asked me, what is the biggest lesson you learned from being a parent? And I said, well, the biggest life lesson I learned was you have a plan, make the plan, and then be willing to let it go completely for whatever happens next, because your child's going to have their own opinion, right? Well, that's just true in life. We should have a plan. And then we should be prepared, if the plan doesn't work, to make adjustments, right? Or if the plan's working, then we fail, we stop doing what we're supposed to do. How do we move forward? And one of the most important things to know when something goes wrong, you ate something you know you shouldn't have. You had some alcohol. You skipped your self-care and you binge watch Netflix. Right? People have addictions to streaming TV. Why do they give us all the episodes at once, right? Addictions to this guy here, right? People are having massive sleep disorders now because they can't put it down. They just made phones illegal in a lot of the schools, and teachers are like, oh my God, it's amazing. The kids are present, right? So a lot of addictions going on. And so you're going to relapse. It's part of addiction and it's part of recovery. And that's one of the most important things. Number one, if things go wrong, if you mess up, don't be angry at yourself. It's part of the cycle. And what I always remind my clients of, and what I'm going to be reminding people in the group when they get started and they relapse at first, until they get it all dialed in, you can only relapse if you are already trying to be clean, to be good, right? Someone who's actively engaging in their addiction can't relapse because they're in the addiction. They haven't stopped. You have to have stopped in order to relapse. So give yourself grace and be proud of yourself that if you have a relapse, yes, proud of yourself that you relapsed. If you relapsed, it means you are in the process of trying to overcome the addiction. You are trying to quit. And part of overcoming addiction is relapse. And it can only happen, again, if you're already doing it. And many people must relapse multiple times before they finally figure out what to do to stop the relapse. So that's the other part of it, is you have to have a game plan. My graduates from Rapid Recovery, whether it's privately with me or whether it's in my group, have told me what changed their life above and beyond was learning the game plan. Because most folks, and maybe you can relate, you can comment if you do, Most folks find that when they make a mistake, they get really emotional. Or maybe it wasn't a mistake. You sabotage yourself, right? That they get very emotional, they feel ashamed, and they feel angry at themselves, at the world, right? And it's very hard to think of what to do when you feel that way. In fact, what do you want to do the most? Give up, give in, right? We can't do that. So again, if we can change the emotion around from shame and anger to I'm proud of myself because I can't relapse if I'm not trying, I get points for that. I got another relapse out of the way. We don't know how many relapses it'll take before you're clean. Maybe it'll be 5, maybe 7, maybe 2, maybe 20. Smokers can take 20 times of quitting before they do it, right? But if they quit it, if they stop trying at 19, they're smoked forever, right? So we got to release that shame. But also we can't make an effective game plan, a strategy of what to do when we're in an emotional state. We can't. So the first thing you need to do after you reframe and you're proud of yourself, the second thing is to do something nurturing for your self-care to comfort yourself. This happened. I got to deal with it, right? See if you can get into a better space. 3, you have to be willing to let go of the emotion. You can't make a plan for an emotional state. Plans must be made in the intellectual mind. And one of the tricks that I teach people is that you can stimulate that for yourself. So your emotional brain is on the sides here. And a lot of your decision making, like math, directions, stuff like that, it's all in the front here. And why do we have twice as much emotional brain, right? So when you are trying to make a decision about what to do, you don't want to make it here. This is where you celebrate. When you're celebrating, just let go of all the intellectual stuff and just marinate in all the good happiness. But when you're trying to plan for what to do, maybe try just kind of stroking that part of your head. This is where I do math. This is where I figure out if I go right or left. And look at what happened. Look at what happened in a detailed way. What made me more vulnerable to the relapse? Was I hungry? Was I tired? Was I stressed? Make a game plan for that. Your triggers. Was I unprepared? Did I not communicate with the people around me what my needs are? Do I need to work on my people pleasing? As you know, I call it pathological people pleasing, meaning that I will harm myself to try to appear pleasing for others because I'm so afraid of rejection. Do we need to work on that? Do we need to work on your habit of predicting that people are going to think something or act a certain way without giving people a chance to maybe be there for you? Is it because you're really bad at asking for help? You're afraid of rejection. You're being afraid of seen as weak. So what I typically do working with people is I do this deep dive, but we talk it through. Okay. So I want you to do that on your own. If you're not working with me, start doing this for yourself. What made me vulnerable? What were the vulnerabilities, the emotional, physiological vulnerabilities? What were the triggers in the moment? Because there's always a trigger. You don't just slip and fall face first into a cake and then that's how you ate it, right? I mean, maybe someone's going to give me an example of when that happened, but very rare. There's a decision that was made. I saw it, I picked it up, and I put it in the mouth, right? Or some people even order it. There's DoorDash is coming. There's time to change our mind or drive it. There's a decision that you made. Why did you make that decision? And at first you might say, I don't know. Again, that's why it helps to have a coach who understands these things. But if you're doing this on your own, sit and really go through it. What were all the thoughts I had? What were all the feelings I had? What led to the decision? And once you really have a good timeline of everything that happened that led up to the eating off the plan, then you can start making really strategic game plans to intervene in each point. Okay. Next time I'm tired, I will do this. Next time I'm stressed, I will do this. Next time I'm going to a party, I will do this. Right. And as you get good at game plans and you do it without the emotional brain, right, then your life changes. And, that's the key right there is learning how to do that. Now, we spend a lot of time over the entire 6 weeks practicing this so people get good at it. I have one client actually in my private program who said game plans eliminated her anxiety. Said she used to be afraid of what would happen and what if, and she goes, now I know I can make effective game plans. If something happens, I will know what to do. I will figure out the right strategy. I understand it. It clicked, right? A lot of times when people will say at the beginning, is they're in that shame state, they'll go, I'll just do better tomorrow. I'll try harder. That's more shame, right? Because that is presuming that you failed because you just don't try hard enough. There's something wrong with you. No, that's not the reason. It's not about trying. It's about being ready and learning how to use this part of your brain for your plans to just start crossing off the triggers, crossing off the vulnerabilities until you are unstoppable. And that's actually one of the final projects we do towards the end of the group is how do you stay unstoppable? And it's beautiful to see people who started out just tripping and falling over themselves go, no, I'm powerful now. I got this. I can do it. You can do it. So remember that. We got to let go of shame. Realize that relapse is just part of healing from addiction, and it means that you're on your way. And make sure that you make strategies and game plans of what to do when you're off plan from an unemotional place, a place that's calculating, specific, and detailed. And when you get good at that, you're not only going to be good at eating the way you want to eat, but you'll be good at everything. That person who said game plans got rid of her anxiety, opened up 3 new businesses after rapid recovery. When she started with me, she could barely get off the couch or keep up with her kids. So game plans, all right? And make sure that that's a part of what you do, because I think a lot of times people, they have hopes and dreams and they give it a go. And then when it doesn't work, they just feel so bad about themselves and quit because they don't want to feel bad again. But you didn't try it. The reason you tried to begin with is because you felt bad, right? Health issues, whatever it is. It's worth it. And if you can take the shame out of stumbling and relapsing, you can use those relapses to make yourself unstoppable and make yourself have the health and life that you really want. So I hope that really helps you guys. As I said, I don't have time to go do a deep dive into all the Q&A, and so I'd love to do that. But I have a group that's calling to me, and my mind and my heart is kind of in there right now. So I need to be in there and making sure everything is ready. We're very excited. We're doing some new things this time around. And so I'm excited to see how it's going to go. And once we're in the groove, then I'll be able to kind of spend more time doing this. But right now, every spare moment of my brain is going into making sure that I am ready and really got to know everybody who's going to be participating, so that I'm ready to meet them all when we come to the live meeting this week. So I will give you updates, of course, on how they're doing. And I really hope that what I came on to teach you today made a difference for those of you who showed up. Maybe it gave you something that you really needed just for today. So all right. And if you have something urgent, you need to reach me, deargia@goodbyelupus.com. You can always reach me that way. And I will be back. I'll be back next Wednesday. I don't know how much time, because again, we'll be in the first week of the group, but I'll be back to soon enough. My full long hour Wellness Wednesdays. I give my time as much as I can to all of you, because I want all of you to be well, to be happy. Okay. So I hope that helped you today. I am going to clock off, and I will see you next week, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time.